It's a topic in recent news that has been controversial and abundant: border security.
A great wall along our southern border.
But what about its impact on the Upper Peninsula? In the distance, across from Lake Superior, stands Windsor, Ontario. The border between the two countries is the longest undefended border in the world.
We'll routinely patrol the border, especially here in Sault Ste. Marie, where just due to the proximity of the international border, it really does pose a vulnerability.
Maintaining a safe border between these two countries takes the help of several different agencies collaborating with one another.
Department of Homeland Security plays a vital role in border security. It's a comprehensive border security agency whose primary goal is to prevent terrorists from entering the country. And along with our DHS sister agency, the U.S. Coast Guard, we comprise a team effort.
Each department plays a key role in determining border entry. In regards to accessibility when crossing the border, this slightly differs depending on the mode of transportation. Now, for travelers who are crossing the border via vehicle over the Canada Toll Bridge, the process is fairly easy, just pulling out your passport and showing it to the Border Patrol personnel. But for the Coast Guards dealing with water vessels, that process is slightly different.
We do send teams out to foreign ports overseas, and they will do surveys and assessments of those ports to determine the risks that vessels coming from those ports may pose to U.S. waters. Closer to home, we do actively patrol our waters and try to find violations of our nation's immigrations and customs laws.
Risk assessments are also conducted to all the vessels coming into the port. The Coast Guard might then implement restrictions or requirements for inspections to mitigate any safety, environmental, or national security risks that a vessel could pose in the U.S. When the seasons change, the border still stands.
In the winter months, once that water freezes and when you cross that imaginary line, you've made an illegal entry into either Canada or the United States.
When water vessels cross the border, they are required to check in at the designated ports. If failure to report your entry is proceeded, consequences can arise depending on your intentions.
In Sault Ste. Marie, if people have not checked in either by coming across from Canada in a boat or traveling the frozen waterways on ice bridges on a snowmobile, if they do not check in, they are crossing in the international boundary illegally. They'll be stopped, they'll be questioned, they'll be searched.
Although previous national news stories have expressed an increase in immigrants fleeing the U.S. to Canada, these reports are filed as illegal and have not been reported or tracked near the Sault Ste. Marie port of entry due to water completely lining that border.
In regards to an individual that would try to exit the country versus an area otherwise designated as a port of entry, let's say you're seeing in the news Emerson, Manitoba, or out in Quebec right now, we are seeing that, but we have no way to gauge that or get staff.
Tomorrow night, I will have part 2 of this series where I share my experience crossing over the international border, the ongoing epidemic of drug smuggling, and how two countries work together to maintain a safe border. Melanie Palmer reporting for ABC 10 and CW5 in Sault Ste. Marie.